All right. So, this is one of the top tiers that I have for my Jurassic series. There's 7 movies, so I got 7. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from worst to first. Starting with the as far as me being a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World fan. These are my rankings for worst to first. So I'm gonna start off by basically um, telling you which movies that I hated and then which movies that I absolutely loved. So that'll be the red one. That'll be the top tier. The bottom one is, blue. That's going to be the worst. So I'm going to start off with the last one, which is Jurassic World, the recent one that ju- just came out, the rebirth. That was terrible, y'all. I'm sorry. That was bad. Like, for one, you, for starters, the they have you on the first scene. This is actually, by the way, some spoilers, by the way. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, then I suggest, you know, click off. And but if you already basically it's been about a time where, if you're a fan or you just are still trying to watch it. I mean, you can still watch it, but yeah, it's gonna be a spoiler right here. But they I mean, I get it because Rexy has been living for since the first Jurassic Park, and this is like years into the future, right? So Rexy's dead in this one, and they have him like in a museum, with like his skeleton bones and all that. So that was the first one. Second one is I like everyone in the movie. I know majority of the actresses and actors. Scarlett Johansson did a good job, and she's one of my favorites. They made her more like a superhero Black Widow type thing, which is I know it's unrealistic, to start off with and things like that, but it wasn't hitting for me because of the dinosaurs that they had. They weren't really scary. It wasn't really bringing me in, but I know the actors and actresses, and I like them, and it would have been a downer, and it would have made me hated the movie more if they would have died. If they would have died, then yeah, I would have hated it more. But because I liked them all, I was actually happy that they all survived. You know, and it's like all the ones that try to do the evil experiments and try to do all that, a lot, but all of them basically seal their fate. So that's my worst. One thing is the whole series of the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park series are the Velociraptors. They just are. They're the Velociraptors. If you don't have the Velociraptors in the movie, it's not going to be good. And that's exactly what they had, right? They had two Velociraptors come, sneak up in the woods when this guy is going to the bathroom in the woods, right? So, and then this little nasty looking dinosaur or whatever it was comes and kills them both. And that's all you see from the Velociraptors. Here I'm expecting a very good Velociraptor movie. With the T Rex or something like that. Nothing. Nothing. That's why it's ranked the worst. Alright? Rebirth is ranked the worst. So that's all I gotta say about it. And this alien looking dinosaur didn't do it for me. What is it? DX? D Rex? I don't even know. But it wasn't doing anything for me. It wasn't really like, you know, mind blowing or didn't have me at the edge or nothing like that. It was just a very, they're trying to go in a different direction. And because I'm a fan, I'm probably going to watch, even though this was a bad one, I'm still going to be watching, the dinosaur series. If they have like another Jurassic World or something like that coming out, I'm still going to watch it. Because I'm a fan, but it's going downhill. After the rebirth, it's going downhill. It's not getting any better after this. So, with that being said, on to my next one, which is boom, Jurassic World. Yeah, this one was bad. It was bad. I was expecting it to be. I love the previews for it, right? I love the previews for it because you had the OGs and the new beats coming together, and I was expecting it to be probably the best one since. But you had the OGs, you had the newbies, and they come together, to try to figure out how to stop the dinosaurs and things like that, and put their heads together how to survive. It led me to believe that it was going to be great, and I just love the fact that it was going to be them, you know, working together just like the old times, but it failed to meet the expectations. I'm sorry, but it wasn't doing it for me. It was, ah, it was bad. I really thought it was going to be going in a different direction, things like that, you know. And like I said, velociraptors are the main reason I get their story behind Blue, being actually they're always gonna have like a hero, right? They're always gonna have a hero in these movies. Blue, the velociraptor, was the hero in that movie, you know. So, and even though you didn't see much, matter of fact, he was a hero in both movies that I'm about to show you guys. But he was a hero because of what the story was basically around that the baby, and they wanted the whole um, DNA and things like that. It was an interesting one, but it didn't it didn't give me enough to say like this is it. The fight scenes for the Jurassic World series, they usually stand out and things like that. This was bad. I was expecting a little longer fight between the Giganotosaurus, the T Rex, and I don't even know how to pronounce that other dinosaur, the Phenomosaurus or something like that. But the one with the claws, that's a plant eater. That would have been a nice battle if they would have just, prolonged it. But all they had was Rexy going to, bump its head and into the claws, and that's it. I'm like, come on. They would have made it a little bit of a longer fight. I probably would have had it a little bit higher on this list, but right now it just stays right where it is, you know. So I guess you would say Rexy was the hero in this one, and Chris Pratt also a hero, and things like that. But you're always gonna have one hero. That pretty black girl that was riding the helicopter. She would probably be also the hero. I put her probably as number one as far as the heroes. So, but yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, that's my number six. So, Rebirth, Resolution. So we got that. Next one we have. Boom. Number five, we have World Domination. So this is the ranking so far. And yeah, I did not. I mean, it's good where it is. I I actually watched this last week. It's good. It's a good watch. I'd prefer them over the last two. I don't even watch the last two like that. I've probably seen the Rebirth once. I've seen other one twice, maybe. Um, but the nomination part I seen maybe about five times. This is pretty. It's good, but it pretty much deserves to stay where it is. So the next one that I'm gonna say is now we're getting into my generation of Jurassic, Jurassic Parks and things like that. So this is my generation. This is the ones that I love. For This is the ones that I've watched so many times. I've watched them so many times. It's incredible. But this one at number four, we have Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. Now we're getting into, you know, the T Rex and the Velociraptors. They make the movie. If there's a T Rex and there's Velociraptors, it's gonna make the movie, and that's what it does. That's what draws you in. That's how great the movies are with both of them as a combination, and that's what they had with the first one. You had Rexy, you had the Velociraptors, big stories, you know, big parts of the film. It's at number four because even though it's the classics, these are actually one of those type of movies where the classics, the originals, and the sequels are actually better. The sequels are actually better than the classics. So the sequels are better than the original, and I stand by that. I like, and I say the next one, number three, Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Love that one. I love that one. That was good. I've seen that so many times. It was classic. Jeff Goldblum did an excellent job. You know, it was great. It was amazing, fantastic. But it's not number two. You know, So I was debating over which one I had at number two for these final two slots, right? Because I love both of these, and these are my favorite Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movies, right? So I was debating which one that I'll put at number two, and all I can say is that after thinking about it for a long time, and after being able to say, you know what, yeah, I'm probably gonna put this at number two, and that's exactly what I did. So, and I've seen this one more times than any other Jurassic series, like Jurassic movie. I've seen this one the most. That's why it was debatable, and I loved it. Love it that so much that I probably watched this one at least 1,000 times. It was that good, and it's this one. So, boom. Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Not only that, where it came out to where it's one of my all time favorites, but I was real young when the other ones came out, so didn't really enjoy it that much. But I've seen all of them so many times. But Jurassic Park literally came out where I was old enough to understand and be able to go to the movies and watch it. It came out, Jurassic Park 3 came out in 2001. I was 8 years old in 2001. So, with that being said, me being 8 years old and me discovering life and all these things, and me having a liking to so many things, this was one of them. This is one of them right here. Jurassic Park 3 came out around the time where I'll be able to enjoy them and things like that. So it's awesome. It's great. So that is my number two. And of course, by y'all seeing all the seven Jurassic Park, Jurassic Worlds, boom, it got me. Jurassic World, number one. Number one. Why? The story, the plot, the Indominus Rex being almost like one of those hybrid dinosaurs where you're like, oh, how are you gonna be able to stop this thing? Not only that, the Spinosaurus was also like that. The Spinosaurus felt like, an unstoppable force. If you were to put the Spinosaurus and the Indominus Rex in a fight scene, who do y'all think would win? Who do y'all think would win? That's the real question. Me personally, I'd give it to the Indominus Rex. The Indominus Rex is a just a force, and being as though it's a hybrid, maybe even gives it more than enough to beat it. But uh, even Rexy struggled with the Indominus Rex. It literally took that um, Monosaurus. It took that Monosaurus to literally drag it underwater to kill it. Cause I do believe if it wasn't for that moment, I think that it would have regained some strength and took both of them out. To where Blue would have been gone, Rexy would have been gone, but saving grace is that the Monosaurus came out of the water and took it under and basically tore it apart. Now, I always wanted to know what the Monosaurus did with the Indominus Rex underwater. I always wanted to know that. I have my theories, and you can kind of see based on the second Jurassic World of what happened. The neck was all the way around, and the body was in a different position than the head, in the second one. So I'm definitely thinking that it tore it apart, probably decapitated it or something like that. But, you know, that's the beauty of it. You can have your own theories and things like that of what happened. All I know is that it was just on the ground, skeleton, you know, the head was detached and the body was in a different way. So it definitely did something under that water that was gruesome enough to have that happen to the Indominus Rex. And it wasn't far away because it was right there, and they tore that. The Monosaurus tore that machine up, tore up that submarine. So it definitely was still there. That was like it's dragged the Indominus Rex to its lair and you know just ate it until it was nothing but bone. But yeah, so with that and the whole thing with plus Bryce. I love Bryce Dallas Howard. She's like, she's gorgeous. So, and she was very, very beautiful. She still is. And that one, it got your attention. It was the whole park scenes and things like that. It just really brought you in, to where you're like, wow, this is inter- interesting. And then the whole way that it was able to go um, about it being able to train the raptors and things like that. But I always say it goes hand in hand. The Rex, the T Rex, and the Velociraptors together. You had the four Velociraptors, and then you had Rexy coming at the end and things like that for an epic fight. So it was top tier for a reason. It's number one in my book. And I love the whole Jurassic Park, Jurassic World series. This is my ranking. This is my ranking from worst to first. Hope you guys like it. But yeah, that's it. That's my ranking.